welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. This is a men's channel with men's content. If that is something that you enjoy watching, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe. Now, gentlemen, let us get into it. Black women in particular, of all modern women, make the worst co-parents. Now, let me tell you this first, ladies and gentlemen. No man wants to raise another man's child or men's children. It doesn't matter, ladies, if you have a PhD, degrees. It doesn't matter if you have over $100,000 in your banking account. It doesn't matter if you're worth $250,000. The moment you have a child with another man outside of wedlock on the dating market, your value of $250,000 depreciates to the value of one bag of Lay's potato chips. Your value decreases and it goes downhill the moment you try to meet a man and want to get into a relationship with a man of value, with a man who has substance, with a man of means that can make things happen, a mover and a shaker. The moment he realizes that you have children with other men or a child with another man, your value goes away in his eyes. Now, I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but it's still the truth. I don't understand why so many women want to buck against that. It isn't fair to a man to raise another man's child. Now let me get a little bit deeper into this, why black women are not good at co-parenting. Because a lot of single mothers who have been parenting a child or more than one child, they are so used to being the law in the household. Anything that these women say goes as far as it comes to the child. Now when a man comes in there, he brings and he introduces a different and new authority to the child. And a lot of women don't like the fact that men want to discipline their child. So a man of value do not want to come home to a woman and feels that he has to negotiate parenting with the woman who has a child by a different man. Do you get what I'm saying? Excuse me for a second. Back to what I was saying. Women who have children who want to co-parent, they want the man to follow her. Don't ever mistake that. Whenever you meet a woman who says, my kids come first, abandon her immediately. Leave her. Because what that means is simply this, that first the kids come first as a priority, then her, and whatever it is after that, and then you, gentlemen. You're going to get the short end of the stick because her kids comes first. And women, what you need to understand is there's no such thing as a man who feels comfortable with having a woman that he calls his own who deals with another man, the biological father, in the co-parenting of that child. Because then there's two men in a relationship with you. And that man, secure or insecure, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be a thought in that man's head that my woman may cheat on me with the biological father of those kids. It just is what it is. So you put yourself in a headlock, ladies, when you have all these different children by different men before wedlock. It makes you very unattractive. It makes you look like someone who is in the street as a thought. It makes it seem like you're very easy. Because I have met plenty of women who have 4 or 5 kids, different baby daddies or by the same daddy. But all these kids are youngsters. I'm talking about 5 years old, another 6 years old, another one 8 years old, another one 10 years old. It's like she spent the last 6, 7 years giving birth to children with men that she did not intend to marry. I know a lot of you think that I'm being harsh, but I'm being real. Look around yourself and tell me what you see in your communities. So yeah, another thing about why you should not date a woman who has children because they are worse co-parents. Let me get you to understand what I mean here. When you use the word co-parent, the first 2 letters of that, co, mean that you and someone else or you and a group of people are working together to accomplish a goal. That means there has to be unity. But even when there's a co-pilot or a co-worker, there is always someone who has more authority than the rest of them to lead them. And the person who is leading them, the co-workers and the co-pilot, follows the leader. When a man comes in there, and if he is foolish enough to take over your children, you have to let him lead. Meaning, there's no co-parenting at that point. That man must be in a position of full authority to discipline your child, to run the household how he sees fit. There should be no arguments about how he does the child, because he's going to introduce a masculine style of rearing those children. And the problem with women is they're so emotional, they hate whooping their kids. Now, they'll tell you things like, I just don't want to see my baby cry. That's a lie. If you don't spank your kids, you hate your kids. If you don't discipline your kids, you hate your children. And the reason I'm saying that is when women say, I don't want to see my children cry, I don't want to hurt my children's feelings, it's really not about the children. It's about that woman. You understand what I'm saying? Because she don't want to feel a certain type of way when she see the child cry. She don't want to hurt because she made her child hurt through discipline. So you care more about yourself. You're selfish, you're self-centered. You care more about yourself than you do that child. And trust me, if you don't spank your children, somebody else is going to spank their children. And they are called the police. Without any discipline in a child's life, especially the type of discipline that comes from a man role model, most children are destined to go to prison. Most children are destined to go to the streets, join gangs, do drugs. So when a man come in, you got to relinquish your power, ladies. You got to relinquish your authority to a man. But a lot of you don't want to do that because you're so independent, right? You're independently stupid, in my personal opinion, because you're letting all these men deposit seed in your womb. Random men just busting all inside of you. And there's never been one conversation about marriage. So now you are not marriageable, ladies. Because you have so many kids. You got baby kids running around. Bad kids. And it seems like to me, the women parents, the single mothers who have the worst behaving children are the main ones who don't want a man to discipline their children. Apparently what you're doing is failing. Okay? There's only so much you can do as a woman raising a young boy. And also a daughter. Because those children need a male role model. We don't need a woman telling us how to raise children. And if a man decides to raise your children, which I am strongly against this, but if he does, you better give him the utmost respect and appreciation. You better make sure his feet is massaged. You better make sure he eats good. You better make sure you do the thing he like for you to do in the bedroom, because he is taking on the responsibility of another man. He is taking on the financial burden of a child. According to, I think it was the CDC, I can't remember, the Brookings Institution of the Analysis of United States Agricultural Department, I believe, it says that to raise a child from age 1 all the way to age 18 costs exceedingly over $300,000. Now that's over $17,000 a year, $1,600 a month, I believe, both of that exceeding the course. And if you get daycare, I think from the age of 3 to 5, that can easily go to $484, depending on the state that you go to or you live in, per month. If you have the money for a nanny, that's $695 a week. Now, you think I'm lying, look up the numbers yourself. I'm just going by what I remember right now. There's a lot more to it than that. So ladies, you are some of the worst co-parents out there. I'm just being honest with you, because you won't let the man lead. Another reason why you make horrible co-parents, black women. And this is not a hateful thing. I'm just being honest. I'm trying to show you where you're messing up at. I want us to all come together, be peaceful, and be marriageable to one another. But one of the reasons why it's hard to have a black woman and try to co-parent with her is because if she has a child from another man, and that child she is used to, she's been dealing with that kid for a long time, and then a new man comes into her life, and then he gets her pregnant, and then she has another child, she gonna have a stronger relationship with the first child. She may treat that second child or the first child differently from one another, because she might like this child. You remember Boys in the Hood, how Doughboy was treated worse than Morris Chestnut because one of their fathers was better on paper, looked better on paper, and the other one was just a thug and a hoodlum. This is very real. So this is the reason why men, black men especially, find it difficult to even try to co-parent with the American black woman. The modern day black woman is a mess. You need to keep your leg closed. I'm just letting you know. I don't know who would be mad at me for trying to tell people to wait until you're married, until you have children. But you know, it's not realistic now, but a woman always has a choice to keep from doing this. You don't get no pity from the world, ladies. No one owes you pity, understanding, or empathy because you were in a bad situation that you placed yourself in all because you were hot in the ass. Well, that's all I want to tell you because I'm tired of y'all always making about the men being horrible fathers. You are horrible mothers a lot of times. And you are only mothers by choice. Ain't nobody make you a mother. You chose to lay down with that bum or that thug or that Pookie and that Ray Ray, that Nook, that Junebug. You decided to get knocked up by these dudes. And a lot of times, you know, these dudes' character was horrible. You know, they had piss poor morals, piss poor character, and you still decided to lay on your musty back for that? That's all on you, baby. Now go ahead, go apply for WIC and go apply for SNAP and EBT and all these things you're gonna need because most men don't want to take care of another man's children. When you are childless, you have more value than you do when you have children from another man or children from other men. Cause a lot of you have children, one dad, two daddy. It reminds me of that Sesame Street character, the one that the vampire said, 1 or 2. So that's how you count your baby daddies now. How many baby daddies you got, Moquisha? 1 or 2 or 3, 4 baby daddies. It's a damn shame, y'all. Well, if you see any value in this video, do me a favor, please hit the like button and subscribe. More men's content on the way soon. Thank you very much, gentlemen.